Yo, what's up, guys? It's Dom, and you're tuning in to Talks with Dom, where we touch on a series of topics that dives into the creator within. Over time, the goal is to help each and every one of you partake in this transformation to better understand who and where you are on your journey. So, let's chop it up, guys. Right? We're on to point 14. Right? The mirror you avoid. I don't know if you guys remember back on point 7, the friction, right, where I said that we're going to have like some side segments that was basically going to be diving deeper into understanding like the friction of like yourself and really diving into different things that comes into those barriers that are built within our person. Um, the blockages and stuff in certain things that we do, right? That keeps us from fully being the creator that's within ourselves that we know that we can be, right? So today is going to be more based on that, right? It's just a side point from that, but just building just a tad bit more deeper in depth, right? The mirror you avoid, right? There are two mirrors in life. The first shows you what you look like, right? So when you go to the mirror and everything, you see yourself, you're like, yeah, it's him for sure, right? So there's that one, and then you also got the second one that shows you why you are the way you are, right? So that becomes the mirror that a lot of people see but they don't truly acknowledge meaning in certain ways, and not even in points of not taking accountability for themselves. Because people take accountability of the things like they know certain things about themselves that they need to get better at or that they need to be able to learn more about within themselves. But sometimes is I feel like it's more of not truly understanding the next steps of what truly needs to happen to be able to dive into that next tier of yourself being a creator, right? So when you're going into things of realizing things about yourself, it's about the way that you talk, the way that you walk, the way that you think, the way that you believe, the way that you see life, right? Like your perspective on life. It's a lot of things that happen to us over years of time and everything that we truly don't understand, that we're truly gaining rapport on ourselves in a way. Like if you truly think about the things that happened to you 10 years ago from now, it's a lot of things that you can really talk about that changed your life or that shifted the way that you look at certain things, whether that be like in a major way or even in a small way, right? But those shifts, those changes still make a difference in our lives on a day to day. So you just never truly know, diving into the depth of our person, not to say in like a negative way, but the way that you react to rejection, right? The way that you handle love, the way that you deal with money, the way that you trust people, the way that you respond to conflict, the way that you think about yourself, right? These things are more like personal things when we're thinking about going through life, but it's just more of like, dang, like times that you've failed in your life, times when you've been told no, times when things just didn't seem like that they were meant for us, or times when things didn't go the way that we planned them to go, right? The way that we accept that, the way that we take that in, right? There's certain people that takes that and actually use that as knowledge and as notes to be able to learn for the better. And then there's certain individuals that take that and they kind of ball that in and kind of just become numb to the way that that felt at that point, right? Like they felt it, but in the future kind of became numb to how that felt then, just because of not truly understanding that or not truly accepting what that did to them, right? Um, uh, the way that you handle love, right? You got certain ways, whether it be like intimate, whether it be family, whether it be just peers around. the way that we all take that in, right? It's a certain way that we love certain things. It could be even towards sports. It could be towards a certain show. Like you be like, yo, I got a real deep love for this show, right? The way that we show that, the way that we take that in is a certain way too, right? Uh over time, I feel like I use that over time word a lot, but it just kind of like, I don't know, it's a big word to me just because of the depth of just like the word itself. But back to back to love though, right? So uh feeling like that love could take us through like a spiral. It can take us on a up and down journey, right? Being able to truly experience love in many ways, right? It's a feeling that hopefully everyone gets to feel. But for the people that feel like that they haven't felt that in a true way, right? Being able to discover that within yourself, right? Being able to accept that, like when it's given, and being able to discern when it's actually given, right? That's definitely a pro to life. You know what I mean? But then it does something to you when you truly don't understand what that is, and you truly don't understand how to take that in for yourself, right? And as we're looking in the mirror, I feel like that we can kind of see that in a way, and even if we can't, like even if it isn't just so obvious, I feel like on our day to day, how we how we respond to people, how we respond to certain things, kind of show that in different ways that we may not know, right? The way that we deal with money, um, survival, survival mode, the way that we take risks and stuff like that, the way that we take leaps and stuff, just to see if certain things will work for ourselves. That says a big thing on why certain steps haven't been taken. Just like where the 13 past points that we've been talking about of being able to get closer to that next step and going from there, right? Not truly understanding how to do that, like the way that you truly deal with that, our relationship with money and everything may not be in the best, or if it is, then you start to understand, okay, well, these are the things that I can truly do to be able to make life that much more valuable to myself, to be able to get me closer to that purpose, right? But for the people that don't, you start to understand um, why that plays such a big impact, not just on your structure of um, where you are in life, but the structure of how you look at life. I feel like it takes a dent into the perspective on life and stuff like that, because certain risks can't be taken because of us being stuck into this like survival mindset of not truly understanding how to deal with money seriously, right? And we kind of look at that as if we don't have enough for this, then we can't do that, or if I can't have this certain thing, then like it's really no point of doing that just yet, just because I can't afford to do this. And it's just more of like, well, a lot of risks and everything that we need to take, a lot of steps that we need to take, don't um, always have to be a necessity of money. Sometimes it just has to be the necessity of will, the audacity to leap and try it, right? Just with the things that you do have, right? Trust, right? Man, that's a big thing. You feel me? Being able to trust within yourself. You just never know, over like when you were younger to the time of now. Like for myself, from the time that I was around like 8 to now, I'm 29 years old. Speaking on certain instances of when trust was broken, or when trust was looked at from a different view. You know what I mean? You start to see how that transpires into your life and your decisions nowadays, and the kind of control that you feel like that you need to have, really causing you not to really be able to step into that purpose, that you've been wanting to step in, right? Feeling like that you've been needing to have full control. So the idea of not being able to have that full control could really be that limiting piece, right? Could really be that perimeter block, right? That can really just place that cage around what you truly could, what you truly could put in front of you and achieve, right? um, the way that you respond to conflict, and the way that you think about yourself, right? When things don't happen, the way that you are able to speak to yourself, the way that you're able to speak to the situation. I'm a firm believer in being very spiritual in the way that we speak to ourselves and the way that we speak to the things that surround us. So, understanding how we are able to react and respond to the things that are happening around us says a big thing and plays a big part in how we attack our purpose and how we attack the things that we need to get done for ourselves, even on a day to day, right? Because there's certain tasks, even when it comes to, like, I don't know, having a clean house, having a clean car, filled up gas in our car, having our workout on point, having our meal prep and stuff like that, having the our system together for the kids and stuff like that, and being able to have um, our schedules together when it comes to going on dates and stuff like that, and just a bunch of stuff, like, right, like all of that takes true um, like the way that we do those things, like, it plays a big part into that, right? And so um being able to see that within ourselves, I feel like it it definitely takes a toll on the longevity of the purpose within ourselves, right? And so being able to think about that, being able to see certain situations that may be in your life and certain points of your life that you may have not accepted or been able to pinpoint to why you think the way you think. You know what I mean? Why you move the way you move, why you believe the way that you believe, right? A lot of it didn't start today. It started somewhere, though, right? So being able to pinpoint where that is and being able to deal with that, because the sooner that we're able to do that, the sooner that we're able to gain clarity on um, how we can go about executing, going through purpose, and being able to um, engulf ourselves into the purpose that's built for us, right? So it's more just being able to do that. It's like a man, that's a that's a golden reward for you. Like it's a golden medal, right? But like the problem is that, like, many of us return to those moments to understand. Oh, no, no. The problem is that many of us never return to those moments to understand what they taught us about ourselves, right? Pain can be a lens, right? Or certain situations can be a lens. Certain things that we see about ourselves, certain things that we don't, certain things that other people sees that bounces off of us, or that or what people portray and everything, right? It can be a lens, right? But sometimes I feel like that as we're going through life, we forget that we're still looking through that lens, right? Not truly understanding that we're still looking through that, but we are. So being able to identify that, have more acceptance with that, and being able to grow through that, to be able to push through and into your purpose, is, I feel like it's like a gem for personal growth. So let's just continue to be aware. Let's continue to be um, let's continue to execute on that. Let's continue to search. Let's continue to discover ourselves, be students of ourselves, and just continue to go, continue to become, guys. We doing it every day, 24/7. So until the next one, though, guys. Peace.